Hi everyone, I'm Echoes and I'm a VTuber, and I'll be going over about how to commission artists for beginners from the customer side, not the artist side, because I don't really draw that well, so I don't consider myself to be a good artist, but I do know how to commission artists, which is completely different. So yeah, so this would be particularly helpful for anyone who's just learning how to start commissioning artists, like if you're a VTuber, for example, or if you want to commission art if you're OCs. Or you just kind of like a refresher if you commission some people and kind of want to know a bit more information you may not know already. So yeah, let's get started. So first we'll start with what you should know before requesting a commission. So here are some things to keep in mind. So when you commission artists, you want to make sure that the artist you want to commission is open or has a waitlist. Open means that they're able to take a commission like pretty much almost right away or very soon. And while if they have a waitlist, that means that there's people before you, but you could be put on a list so that once they get to you, you could then be able to work with them for a commission. So, and yeah, so for example, if artist has like a group of people they're working with, then you can also be added to the next batch. Also, when you want to work with artists, you want to work with someone who could complete what you want, or you can work with their strengths. For example, if an artist is really good at drawing beautiful girls, for example, and you want them to draw a beautiful girl, then it would make sense to go with artists who is skilled at that. Artists have various strengths, like some are good at drawing mechs, some are good at drawing like spaceships, some are good at drawing jets, some are good at drawing like different beautiful men, some are good at drawing beautiful women. Some are good at drawing, have very distinct styles. Like if you want like very strong colors, or you want a painterly style, you want to go with someone who ideally is comfortable with your request, and what you're requesting is within their capabilities. And also make sure that you read all the details to know what you're looking for. Like usually if you look at artist bio, they can provide that, or you can look at their portfolio. And the artists would usually have a card, like a website, for example. A card is one of the most common ones, but some have their own websites, or they'd provide a commission sheet, which will offer their provided services and give you the options that they have available. If available, do read the artist's terms of service. And if it's not available, ask the artist if they have one available, or ask questions on the rules. Not having one could be risky or could cause issues. This is because terms of service kind of gives you an idea on what the artist expects and the rules are. So if they don't have it available, you may not be sure of what to expect when commissioning them. So it doesn't hurt to either ask questions or see if they have one available on them. Make sure that you can afford the commission and have the money for the commission already available, because art is a luxury, so you need to have the extra money and not use money meant for rent, food, or other basic necessities. You do not want to use money that you should be using for something else. Keep in mind that just make sure that it is ideally expendable income that you can afford to lose. An artist should also have an existing and consistent portfolio. Usually it'd be like a media tab or someplace that's easily available. And consistent as in consistent art style. If an artist has very distinctively changing art styles, excluding like different types, for example chibi versus like a full body, that can just be a stylistic difference. But if there's if between the same type of commission they look drastically different, then that could be a red flag. It could mean that they're stealing art, or it could be AI, for example. Just be careful. And also, do not request commissions from people who DM you without you DMing them first. This is because these people are mostly scammers. And this excludes artists that you requested commissions for separately and are just contacting you as follow-up. So the scammers are usually people who just go into your DMs and want you to commission them, when in reality they're pretty much a waste of time. Don't talk with them. They're not really gonna benefit you in any way. While an artist that you want to commission usually will have like a form or DMs open, and then you reach out to them and request a commission slot. So you can see it's like complete opposite. So scammers will reach you, while people who you want to commission will want you to reach them. So completely different dynamics. So how to avoid scammers. So as previously mentioned, do not entertain people who enter your DMs or PMs and just say very basic questions like, or sentences like, hi, how are you? Something similar. They just want your money. Don't entertain them. If possible, delete, block. Report them if they're spammers. Just don't waste your time. Make sure to check their profiles. Usually they don't have a profile, a very minimal one, or varying styles that is not their own. For example, some will have like this like e-gamer commission, and then they have like distinctive hand-drawn art that looks very, very different. Yeah, you gotta be careful because sometimes this art is stolen, as in they're just pretending it's their portfolio. And also in their bio, they also can seemingly do a lot of things that isn't available, like visual artist, editor, 3D model. They could do seemingly a whole bunch of things, but you don't have proof on whether they can actually do it. So just block them. And just a warning is that even artists with a good reputation can scam you by disappearing without completing your commission. This can happen to anyone, so ideally you just want to be careful. To avoid this, I recommend checking their history of finished commissions or ask people who they've worked with before. And ideally they would have finished commissions relatively recently, but regardless, definitely just look into it if you are having any sense of doubt. So what is VGen, Kofi, Skeb, etc. So these are all websites used to commission artists. VGen is more English focused and probably one of the newest out of the websites. It's very helpful and very easy to use. Looking at previous reviews on artists can be helpful because it kind of gives you unbiased reviews of that artist, whether that person had a good experience, not good experience, that sort of thing. And also it also mentions the type of commission that they requested, so you can look into that to see what their feedback is. Kofi is also English focused and also can be used to sell assets and also be used for donations. So it's not exclusively used for commissions, but it can be used for it. It's relatively common. Skeb is also one of the most next common. It's based in Japan and is widely used by YouTubers and others. So one of the rules with Skeb is that for these type of commissions, it is against the term of service to communicate with the artist until the commission is complete. You can see that this image shows that. It's because it kind of allows artists to interpret your request based on the description you provide. Regardless, yeah. So, and because of this, also created the Skeb type commission, which has a similar rules. Essentially, like once you put in your request, then it's up to the artist to complete that commission, and there's no communication with you. The Skeb website also has a completion rate metric. So ideally you want like 100% if possible. That means that the guaranteed that they will complete your commission. Well, if it's a lower, like maybe 50, 60, 70%, there's you run to risk of them maybe not. So just be careful. Good thing though with Skeb is that you can get refunds relatively easily with them. If they if an artist on there does not complete your commission in time. But yeah. And Crepe is Crepe is a website I've learned about relatively recently. It's a Korean-based website used for commissions. So each of these platforms have their own ways of accepting commission requests, so please read each of their terms carefully, as will vary depending on the platform, as they all have their different rules and how to use them, so just navigate them wisely and make sure you understand how to use them carefully. So what to know during the commission process. So when you contact the artist during the commission regarding communication, make sure that you specify that you're looking for a specific commission, whether it's a type, like for example, a chibi, full body, painterly style, scenery, background, mecha design, all sorts of things. Be as specific as possible and ask any questions you may have. Be as detailed as possible. So that they know what you're looking for, and you can contact them in a variety of ways like email, Discord, Twitter, DM, etc. Some artists will direct you to their preferred methods for contact. Some will provide like email or a specific way, or they could also provide a link to a commission site or something similar. So if their slots are full, their form is closed, they're now closed. So just to know, sometimes artists will have a certain amount of slots open. So if, for example, they got all the slots closed and then you contact them, then they're not available for commissions anymore, unless if they may have a wait list, but then they'll let you know. This is because scammers send super vague DMs to avoid that. So yeah, it's artists will not really engage with scammers either, so it's better to be as detailed as possible so they know you're not a scammer. And if an artist requires a form, which is typically a Google form or like a template, just send that form as a way to contact them. Also, do not spam the artist. They'll get back to you if they're interested in working with you. Follow the general guidelines that their commission process usually follows. That's often listed in their TOS, or they'll mention specifically to you in DMs. If they do not provide updates, try to reach out every 2 weeks or every month since your last communication. So this is because some artists will not get to you or will not reach out to you first, so you have to reach out to them. Any artist who does ghost you, like for example, if you contact them like every 2 weeks or once a month, they do not get back to you. They are on a high risk list. They may not complete your commission. So give them a few days to a week to get back to you. It shouldn't take longer than that if they want to be good terms with you as a client. Most artists will get back to you relatively quickly, but there are some who don't, so just be careful. Skeb-like commissions do not require communication between the artist and client by default, so don't reach out to them after they accepted your request. Regardless, you should keep an eye on them to make sure that they complete them on time. If they don't, you'll get a refund eventually. Some artists also use progression trackers like Trello, Google Excel, and Discord servers, but not always. They're very helpful as a visual aid to show your current commission status, like if you're on a wait list, if they're working on it, that sort of thing. So it's very helpful, but not always available, but it is appreciated. Okay, so regarding waiting time. So how long a commission takes to be completed depends on the type. Usually smaller, simpler ones take less time, while more detailed ones can take more. It can range for a few days to a few months. It is a pretty large difference. So just keep that in mind. If possible, please be patient if it's expected for a commission to take a while. Like, for example, if it's intensive, like there's a lot of detailed artwork, for example, or if it's like rigging, that will take a while, or it's like a 3D model, that'll take a while. So just be patient because, things take time. Also keep track of the commissions you request and have paid for, and make sure they're completed in a reasonable amount of time. Reasonable as in not like over a year, ideally. It should be within what you would reasonably expect. But if there's any form of ghosting during that waiting time that lasts longer than a few days a week, comes more likely that commission will not be done. So just keep that in mind. Please continue to communicate with the artist in a reasonable time frame. And do not expect the artist to contact you. You may have to contact them. Just how it is, but you have to be somewhat assertive with these sort of things. You cannot expect them to get back to you, because sometimes they're busy or whatever, so you have to take the initiative in this case. Okay, so regarding payment. So artists have different ways of going through this. They can request payment all upfront, so that's paying in full, 50% upfront, or sometimes just later in the commission process. Some artists will also accept payment plans, like for example, every month, every 2 weeks, etc., etc. So discuss with the artist, depending on their current financial status, what they can accommodate. Should be within reasonable expectations. Payment can be via PayPal, Wise, Stripe, VGen, etc. Avoid paying if they request anything super suspicious and usually high. If you get that, do ask them where it comes from. You don't want to be scammed. They may also request you pay for fees to offset platform fees, which does happen. It's up to you whether you decide to do that or not. Yeah, because usually certain platforms will take a set fee from the artist. Like I know VGen definitely does it. So they may want you to pay for that fee instead, so they don't have to pay as much regarding the fees. And regarding prices, do not argue about their prices. It's because artists will generally set artist prices are generally set in what the artist believes their art is worth. To say the art is too expensive compared to others can be an insult. Instead, if you cannot afford the prices, mention that you're not able to pay for them due to your current financial status, but thank them for speaking with you. You can always commission them later once you have the money to decide you want to work with them. It is why knowing what you can afford is important. So do not contact artists if they're out of your comfortable price range. Because most artists will provide their prices or general price ranges pretty immediately, but some will ask you to DM them. So then you have to contact them and you'll see whether you can afford it or not. And also be aware of price conversions when working with international artists like USD to euros, USD to yen, USD to Filipino pesos. You'll have conversions when artists have work with international currencies. So just part of how it is. Okay, so when you contact artists regarding personal use, commercial use, and fees. So artists can charge you extra outside of the provided base price. It's usually for extra details, add-ons, or commercial use. Commercial use is split between content, streaming use, and selling merch. So personal use. So personal use is when you're using the art for just yourself, like for a phone wallpaper, a background, profile picture, etc. But you're not using it for streaming, content use, or selling merch. And you'll usually not be charged for this. While for streaming content use, you're using it for streaming or to make content, like live streaming, YouTube videos. You want to advertise yourself on a Twitter post or something. You can be charged for this, but it depends on the artist and the request. While if you're using the art to sell merch, that means that you're using it to make a personal profit off of using the artist's art in some way. Usually this is will lead to the highest increase in price and can be either a flat fee or percentage increase, like double the base price 1.5 times or several times. So, and also could include royalties, but that's rare. But regardless, most art involving selling merch will have usually a percentage increase. So yeah, just keep that in mind, because a lot of YouTubers will use art for streaming or content or selling merch. So make sure that you pay the artist appropriately, as otherwise the artist may not be happy with that because their art is being exploited in a way without their knowledge or their consent. Okay, so references while you're contacting the artist. So most artists require a visual reference. This is mostly referring to visual art in particular, like an established design or a character sheet. They do not always accept written descriptions for what a character looks like, so just make sure to communicate with them. They'll let you know if they accept written descriptions or not. Generally, the more references you provide, the better. If possible, be concise or summarize the main points. They do not always want an essay. You want to get to the main important bits. If they require a visual reference, provide it. Whether it is a design of a existing character, a character reference sheet, or a full body visual you want them to draw. Yeah, make sure you just provide it in as clear a way as possible. This is so they know what your character looks like. If they require something else, like a background reference, pose, detailed description, etc., do try to provide it. You want to make the life of who you're working with as smooth as possible. If you're looking for something specific, like if an artist has multiple styles or offers a variety of commissions or commission types, it's recommended to link or reference previous works from them. Most artists are fine with this, as it's a way to grasp commission's taste or general idea from previously completed works, but it may not be a good idea for graphic designers, as they would want their creation to be more unique. So it just depends on the artists themselves. Okay, so revisions and refunds. So ideally, the artists you work with will communicate with you clearly during the process, whether it is to ask questions or after stage the commission is complete. Typically, after a sketch is complete, these stages are after sketch is complete, line art is complete, after base colors are done, and when the piece is finished with rendering. However, these steps can sometimes be skipped during the artist workflow, so it will depend. Ideally, when you want to request commissions is as soon as possible before the finished product. Earliest would typically be around the sketch phase. But sometimes there will be changes you want to make by the end you didn't notice before. It's best to ask if it's possible to make a change once you notice it. Like, for example, small changes, but if it's a major one during the final stages of the commission, you may have to pay extra for it. The artist can say yes or no for that, but don't force it. They do not have to do what you want even if you do pay them, so try to remain open-minded and flexible. Regarding refunds, some artists do accept them and some don't, and some only accept partial refunds, so read the artist's terms of service for guidelines. Anyone who uses PayPal, I think usually the charge period is around 180 days, so just keep that in mind, but it can be shorter, so just make sure you just look into that. This should be typically used as a last resort if the artist doesn't communicate with you for a long period of time. Also, anyone who uses VGen should read the refund policy as it will depend on how you paid, like if you use PayPal or VGen payments, which will be via Stripe. If you're using Skeb and the commission you request is incomplete by the provided deadline, Skeb will automatically refund you. It will take some processing time for that refund to arrive in your account, so just be patient if that happens. So once your commission is complete. So once your commission is done, remember to say thank you after you're satisfied with the final version. If you're able to, I recommend adding a tip if you're happy with the work you received. Like, they're called boosts on VGen or tips via PayPal. This is optional, but it is appreciated. Request the files to be sent to you in a way that is easy to save, like email or another file sharing means to maintain high image quality. This is because some sites like Twitter or Discord can compress image quality, so it's best if the artist will email you or have another file sharing service for you to get access to it. Make sure to save the image file in a safe place, if possible multiple places. I personally save them on my desktop and on Google Drive. And after all this is done, you've done everything you should have done. If you enjoyed working with the artists, do feel free to work with them again if the opportunity arises, as artists do appreciate repeat customers as they can be very reliable. Also, ask the artist whether you can share this commission on social media, as every artist has a different policy regarding that. Most, if not all, request some form of credit or may prefer to share the commission themselves as part of their portfolio. So yeah. And here are some flags to look out for. So red flags. The artist is difficult to communicate with when trying to contact them, or at worst, you don't get a response. Artist doesn't communicate with you while they work on your commission over the course of several stages, excluding Skeb types. Long waitlists over the span of several months that are prepaid. That means that the artist could have financial issues. The artist does not start your commission after several months, like 6 plus, have passed. Excluding if you're on a waitlist and waiting is to be expected, and not having a TOS that is easily available. Just definitely look out for these because they could easily show that something could go wrong. Well, green flags. The best artists will be easy to communicate with in a reasonable amount of time. They will provide frequent updates throughout the process of completing your commission. They're open to making revisions you can request with little to no difficulties. Usually make bigger revisions early in the process and smaller ones later on. They'll work on your commission relatively soon, not on a waitlist that is too long. They'll also have a progress tracker available. And also, let's see, payment when your commission starts. So most artists will request a payment when they start your commission, in case if you're on a wait list or something. If they request it very early on and you have to wait too long, that could be a problem. Okay, so some food for thought. So even if you do everything right, that is from all this advice and information in this video, there's always a chance that something will go wrong and the commission you requested will not be completed and you cannot get your money back. There's this chance. This slideshow is meant to help to prevent issues as much as possible, but there are no guarantees. Please be careful when requesting commissions and remain informed and assertive when needed. Make sure that both parties are accountable for the terms of service. It is a two-way street. And based on some advice our friend provided, be communicative and patient is the key for both parties to get a satisfying result. So some personal experience with commissions. This is just mostly relevant to me. In case if anyone's interested or like some personal reference. So how I keep track of commissions. So I usually use Notion as an option for to-do lists, and I have a specific page for that. Besides the year the commission is completed, I keep track of the type of commission, their contact like through Twitter or other social media handles, how much I paid, and payment status, and whether it's complete or not. I don't usually keep track of dates outside the general year and log in the dates far later for analysis, but it's recommended in case if you need to charge back for a refund via PayPal. I also keep a blacklist of commissions I either paid for or didn't and do not expect commission to be completed. This helps me prevent me from working with these people again. So just keep that in mind in case if you have bad experiences, keep track of them. This overall system has ensured that a high percentage of my commissions have been completed outside blacklisted ones. So this is the data I compiled. It took a while, so I apologize. Partially why this video took a while to make was I was just doing a lot of information gathering and then doing some analysis. So yeah, so regarding this, you can see that it's over the course of 5 years or so. And it has the cost per year number, average cost, and average completion time. This will vary for every person. And my cost is a bit higher than I think most typical people just because I do have some expendable income. So I don't have to use it as much for daily necessities, but everyone has their own circumstances. So please do spend within your means and what you're comfortable with, and do not use money meant for basic necessities. So yeah, so overall, generally a pretty good run. I think if I have 195 completed commissions so far, I think I have around 8 to 10 people on my blacklist. So I would say that's a pretty high completion rate overall. I can't really can't complain too much. You can see the average is around a month for completion time, but it'll vary depending on the artist. Okay, so this is a commission tracker I used to obtain the data I acquired after putting all my commission info. This is free and it's on Boston VT's Kofi shop. So I recommend it. It's very helpful and very easy to use. And then these are the people I work with to get feedback for this video. So thank you so much, Shirome, Pinlin, Uriel, and Gamba. Uriel's also the one who helped, who I was able to commission for the thumbnail for this video. So thank you as well for that. Yeah, feel free to comment below if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them. Hope that this was very helpful to anyone who is interested in commissioning artists or feels lost, as there's a lot of videos on YouTube from the artist side on how to open commissions, but not as much for the customer side. So this could be helpful for anyone who is interested, and hopefully things will go smoothly. Just don't forget that if things can go wrong, they may go wrong. So just be as cautious as possible, and just definitely if you have any doubts, don't forget to ask further questions or ask people who they've worked with, because then you may get a more honest answer. So yeah. Anyway, hope this video is helpful and hope your commissioning goes well. Wish all the best, and for this year as well. Anyway, thank you so much, and have a good rest of your day. Take care.